Since 1961, Quartz Plumbing has offered friendly, reliable service to residences all over Bergen County, New Jersey. We are a fourth-generation family-owned business, unmatched in customer satisfaction and professionalism while working in your home. We are the hydronic heating and water filtration specialists, with a workmanship guarantee to put you at ease so you can rest comfortably. We offer financing for those big projects that catch you off guard, and we have a network of excellent contractors in all fields for any project you wish to tackle. Call our responsive office team, and we'll dispatch a handsome and educated technician to lay the smackdown on all your plumbing issues. You can also find us at quartzplumbing.com, search us on Google, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Like, subscribe, and share, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Plum Bums Podcast, the blue-collar tradesman show where we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, the everyman's podcast, right, Max?
Yeah.
You are here with Max and Phil, plumbers extraordinaire. How you doing, Max? We just had Thanksgiving, actually.
I'm good. Brown Friday came early for me.
Brown Friday?
Brown Friday came early for me. It came on Thanksgiving. I had to...
Not you, though.
Well, it wasn't me.
Well, you always have a packed house.
It was a packed house. My grandmother brought her cousin, and he unleashed the beast on the toilet. It was to the point.
Did you use just too much toilet paper, or
No. No. It wasn't.
So
too
it
much
was.
toilet
It was
paper.
just organic and raw.
What's the American standard power flush toilet? What's the name of that model?
Starts with a V.
The Velocity or something like that.
Something like that.
That's the only thing that could stop what he created. I couldn't get it with the plunger, so I put tape over it. Because it wouldn't go with the plunger. And I said, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna go get the auger from work and I'll unclog it then. Just nobody uses this toilet. And my dad goes, what do I have a plumber for if you can't unclog it now? So he puts on a pair of gloves and he goes hands deep into the toilet and just starts scooping stuff out into a bucket. I'm like, no. Plumbers don't. We get dirty, but we don't do that.
Was he gagging?
Huh?
Was he like?
No,
gagging?
my dad. I don't know if this is where I got it from, the not caring of poop smells. But he just went to town, and I'm like, no, I still have to eat Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
That's aggressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't care. My dad is my.
You know what bothers me when you go to someone's house? Do you ever go to someone's house and they don't have a plunger in any bathroom?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like, I don't understand how, like, you've been living your whole life. How do you not have a plunger? You never clog this thing up?
I feel like that's a new homeowner thing, though, where they don't
not have a plunger because it's trendy to not have a plunger.
Not that it's trendy. I just don't think new homeowners don't know these things. Like, we had Rod on the last podcast, and he was giving people tips on like house flippers.
Yeah.
And things that you should kind of know or look
House
for.
flippers don't know anything.
You know, like we talk about it all the time too, which we still have to do. The 10 know-hows and for a new homeowner. Top 5 for a new homeowner.
That's right, guys.
Things
you got to watch out.
know.
We're going to start recording top 5 lists. Top 5 things you should know how to do as yourself as a homeowner. Top 5 things you should never touch. Top 5 things you should call a plumber for right away. That's a whole series you can do.
Yeah, and it's no offense to like the new homeowners, but if you're calling us over for a flapper, I feel like which we do get a lot, I feel like as a man, you should know how to change your flapper. I will change it for you.
Prerequisites.
Yeah, I'll change it for you, but
I will listen. No job too small has been our logo for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't mind doing them, but that's in the top 5 list of what you should know how to do as a homeowner. It's going to save you money because it's like if you go, remember we had a tattoo artist on the show?
Yeah.
He goes, I have a minimum. It's $200 minimum. I don't care if I'm putting a little line on you.
Yeah.
It's $200. Yeah. So a flapper is what, $4 from Home Depot?
Not anymore.
And $8 from Home Depot? You pop it in, you pop it out?
Yeah.
But we have to charge the minimum to get there. You're what, $260 for a flapper?
Everybody should know, like what you said. It is about $150 just for me to come into work and turn the van on that you bought.
Yeah.
It's $150 just for me to do that.
What do you mean?
So-
You guys weren't even here that long.
I think it's different. People don't understand they don't understand that part of the business. They don't understand that, you come to somebody's house to fix a problem. That costs money.
Yeah.
Even if I don't do anything, let's say I just give you an estimate. It still costs us money
Right.
to come to your house to do something.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to charge you for that if I just gave you an estimate,
Right. We do free estimates.
But it costs money for us to do that.
Exactly.
So
It costs money to drive to your house. This is what people, somebody goes, because I argue, this is not wise, by the way, if you own a business. All my social media accounts are business, okay? But I'll debate people on small business pages and blue collar pages and stuff, and they're like, well, that's just like, that's just cost you should eat as a business owner. It's like, what do you think a business is? Every cost is transferred to the customer.
That, and again, most people don't understand other businesses. Like, let's say you go get an oil change or you go to a mechanic. Okay, you're driving to the mechanic. He's got a stationary. He's got a shop.
Right.
That you bring it to. It's not that he's coming to you.
Exactly.
He
doesn't have a rolling shop.
Exactly. So
This is little by little. We try to educate the public on what it is to run a small business, and it's not, especially in North Jersey. Listen, folks, we have a really, really, really special guest who knows all about running businesses, especially in North Jersey. Right? This has been your territory for a long time. We have Mike Medaglia from Total Comfort Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Right? Did I get
That's
that right?
it. Total Comfort.
Out of Westwood.
But
You have a resume. Everywhere I go, everyone knows Mike. Mike is the ultimate don of the plumbing industry in North Jersey.
the Godfather of plumbing.
The Godfather of plumbing. I mean, you have established a name. I've been in the industry for 10 years. My uncle talks about you constantly. You've established a name, you've established a reputation, and that's like, it's something I think every plumber or at least contractor should strive to instead of just getting by. Because we have a lot of guys that just get by.
Oh, yeah.
But I think, in my opinion, and I hate to take this intro too long, but I want to say this. I think over the past couple years, there has been a blue collar revolution where guys in our industry, electricians, we're starting to realize our worth.
No doubt.
Especially since COVID.
Oh, yeah.
But Mike, thanks for coming on, man.
I'm glad to be here. I watch your podcast, listen to your podcasts, and
that makes me feel
them.
good.
Yeah. I have that kind of a reputation only because of what I give back to the industry, not just take from the industry. I've been involved in association business and helping other contractors understand business and help them try to be successful for many, many years. Matter of fact, at great personal expense and
frustration,
detriment. Okay,
it's frustrating.
It is. It is because you're trying to help somebody. I've been trying to recruit people into plumbing associations for so many years, and they look at me like I'm a pain in the butt.
Well, why?
Like, what are you bothering me about this for?
What's the importance of the
talk
plumbing?
about that.
What's the importance? Why do you want to bring people in? Because some of younger guys, I think, kind of not scoff at the idea of the association. I think they think that's like the older guy type thing to do. But obviously, it's important.
It's not.
It's not a club. It's a business. It's a business association. It's a great place to learn business, to learn how to run a business, and to get questions answered. Because most guys, when they start out, they've got lots of questions and they don't know where to get answers.
Yeah.
And here you got a room full of resources that people are willing to share information. And to raise the bar, raise the what a cliche, raise the bar of the industry, okay? So that these are not just people who've created a job for themselves. They've created a business, and they're professionals,
right?
Okay. It's funny that you mentioned the toilet thing and the flapper thing. Please don't learn how to change flappers. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah. You are right. Those simple little jobs where you're in and out, you can make money from. But
you know why? People, the tank of a toilet, the water's fresh water back there, but you know, they
There's poop
equate
back
that
there.
to sticking their
Yep.
hand in that to
Yeah.
sticking like your father was doing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's completely different, of course, you know, but it's also an opportunity to talk about water treatment because most of those flappers are destroyed by the water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know
know?
what? The Kohler gaskets, the black tri gaskets.
Oh, yeah.
whatever they make those things out of, and then it gets everywhere. You touch it with your glove.
Yeah.
I think we have horrible water chemistry around here,
Oh, absolutely.
and I'm glad you mentioned water filtration because we push that because we're in there changing faucets out every 5 years.
Sure.
And the customer's like, "What's wrong with you guys? Don't you know how to do plumbing here?" It's like, I didn't manufacture this thing.
Oh, the water has just got progressively worse.
Yep.
As you know, the forever chemicals, the PFOAs, the PFA, whatever's, and the chlorine and chloramines and everything.
Heavy metals, all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, New Jersey's the land of pollution. So
It really is.
It ends up in the air and in the water.
I tell people because all the New York transplants coming over here since COVID, buying houses,
Yep.
they come here from phenomenal water in New York City, delicious water.
Sure.
And I tell them all the time, listen, you guys over there, you get your water from all the way upstate.
Right.
You get your water from that picture that's on the Poland Spring, from that beautiful mountainscape,
That's
and it
it.
comes down to New York City. We get our water from underneath us, and I just imagine the runoff, all that stuff.
Oh, the runoff is incredible. Look at, I mean, in our area alone, the runoff, you talk about fertilizers and golf courses or whatever. How many golf courses are there in this
Yeah.
area,
Oh, yeah.
you know? And they all run into the reservoirs.
Yep.
Okay. So it's an opportunity for us to help the public because they're aware of how bad the water is. And they look to us to resolve those problems.
Yeah.
Okay. And, that's okay. It's okay to make money at it. That's
Absolutely.
what we do.
It's also, but it puts the burden, and I'm not complaining about this. It should motivate companies and business owners, especially the small type of guy, to continually educate yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's super important.
Well, back to the association thing. It's all about education. It's all about sharing, and it's all about protecting homeowners from handymen and whoever who may attempt to do this type of work and are not really skilled at it and could present, create all kinds of dangerous situations
Yeah.
for homeowners. And, in their quest to save a few dollars, they don't realize what could go wrong.
Yeah.
And there's so much that can go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. When, you talk about what we're dealing with, plumbing is also our wet heating side.
Yeah.
You've got a box in the basement and it burns natural gas, flammable natural gas. And there's, high voltage electricity involved and carbon monoxide and everything else. Gee, you think you might want a professional, touching that baby. Okay. At least once a year, check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, our association helps protect the public.
Yeah.
And then we do other stuff like we donate to a variety of charities, scholarships, and other local pursuits.
What kind of scholarships?
Yeah.
Well, the Sergeant Herbeck Memorial Fund that Jamie Hodges, his son who died in Afghanistan. Okay. They have a memorial scholarship, and we donate money to them like crazy. Okay. And that money goes right to the scholarship. It's a $2,500 scholarship for kids in Westwood. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Is it specific to trades or is it just to go to university?
I believe it's to universities.
Okay.
We just discussed that, but
Yeah.
it could probably be it's money, so it's not designated to any
Right.
institution.
Okay. Right.
You could go to the adult school down at Bergen Tech and pay whatever you have to learn how to do plumbing or HVAC or electrical.
Well, we talk about that stuff all the time, and you off camera we talked about it. You said you went to college for a long period of time.
Very
Where'd
long.
you go?
Well,
He's like Van Wilder.
I started out in Teaneck, okay, and then I it was a different time. It was the early 70s. It was 1970, okay, and I ended up going out west and transferring around to different schools. But I ended up coming back home, coming back to Fairleigh Dickinson, and graduating from their engineering school. And that's how I got my plumbing license. Because at the time, and it's still today, if you have a degree in engineering, all you need was 1 year experience in the trade, and you qualified to sit down and take the test. Now, I was civil engineering. Now you have to be in some form of plumbing engineering. Like if you're an electrical engineer, you can't sit for the plumbing test anymore. Right. If you're a manufacturing industrial engineer, it has to be related. I think it's either civil or plumbing, and you could sit for the test. So I had been exposed to it my entire life. My dad was a service manager for a fuel oil company in the Bronx. That's where I was born. Okay. And I grew up in the Bronx till I was 14 years old. So you know the story. You're 10 years old, 12 years old. You're coming with me. Hand me this, hold that, take this. Do all the not so pleasant jobs you got to do. Okay, so I did a lot of that. 12, 13 years. You're off from school for the summer. He's in the fuel oil business. So what are you doing? You're changing out fuel oil boilers. The worst. Black soot and the worst.
Wait, so this was late 70s you got your license?
I got my license in 79 because I graduated. Remember, I was in college for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a real good time.
Doing that decade-long degree over there.
Yeah.
College in the 70s must have been wild.
It's a great time to be in college. Let me tell you, the 70s.
We've had a couple guys on that said that, and the 90s just started to change when they just started jacking up tuition. And we talk, listen, I don't want to offend you or anything, but we talk about, at this point, it's a total scam.
Oh, yeah.
You go, listen, you need to, if you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, you need a degree. You need to go there. You need to sit down, do AutoCAD, learn all that stuff, learn, whatever doctors need to learn. But I have relatives in school for what? Just like communications, just a general liberal arts degree. $50,000 a year for what? It has become, and it's driven home by the guidance counselors, because we actually figured it out the other day. High schools, they get to put that on their stats. Like, this is how many kids we got into college.
Oh yeah.
So they push for college. It doesn't matter if you don't have no idea what you're going to do. $150,000 later, compounding interest. You're working for the family business anyway.
Yeah.
So we try to really push that. Listen, for the last 30 years, everyone went to college, and now look, everyone has a degree and no one has a job. So tradesmen are hungry for people who want to come in, learn the trade, learn the business, learn how to sell. I want to get back to, did you want to add something to that?
Well, I think according to the Department of Labor, half the jobs in the country don't require a college degree.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're probably, you're looking at maybe, I would say conservatively 70-80% of the people out of high school are heading to college.
Right.
Okay.
For
jobs that don't exist.
Yep.
And colleges have no incentive at all to keep the cost down.
Nope. Their
incentive is to drive the cost up. Okay. And it's that whole cycle, like you mentioned, with the towns, we got a great school system. How many people go to college? Oh, yeah. So now we can charge more for our property taxes because we have the best school system and we pay our teachers the most money. And it's a real cycle.
I didn't even think about that.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle.
And the kids are the ones who suffer.
Yeah.
Okay. They graduate with jobs, with the degrees to do nothing.
Yeah. Well, I always say that most people at 18, they have no idea what they want to do with their life. But I also believe that
I'm the poster child for that. It took me 10 years to figure it out. You know?
You're a case where I guess your degree did, give you a lot of leverage in the field that you chose. What do you think about an engineering degree nowadays? You think it's a little bit different, or you don't really keep up with that kind of stuff?
I think that an engineering degree is still a worthwhile commodity to have, because with science and with the whole digital economy and everything. It's all revolves around science, math, engineering.
Yep.
It's important.
Yeah.
Okay, China and Japan and India are pumping out engineers like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
United States is pumping out fucking BS degrees, BAs,
Yeah.
to do nothing.
Yep.
Okay, and then manage a Wendy's.
It makes me so angry. I'm watching, and this whole thing about, oh, well, now we're going to try to pass bills where you don't have to pay for college and college is free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free.
Nothing.
Okay. This past year, I went to college for 2 years. I didn't graduate. College was not for me.
Right.
I should have not gone. I didn't know what else to do with my life. I had the opportunity, so I took up every federal loan I could. And that's how they get you. They say, "I'll just, pull out the federal loans. Don't worry, you don't have to pay starting. You don't have to start paying them back 6 months after you graduate." But last year, I'm 43 years old. I finally finished paying off my student loans.
That's amazing.
And now,
And you only went for 2 years.
and I only went for 2 years. And now they're going to make us who didn't go to college or already paid for college pay for it again.
Well,
Yeah.
how much was college? How much was your university when you went?
Oh,
When you
gee.
went?
It was probably a tenth of what it is now.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
You can pay it off a semester with a summer job.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you had gotten the 4-year degree, you'd be on the hook to your 60?
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
Well, do you watch the Dave Ramsey podcast?
No, I don't.
No, he's the guy who's he's a financial advisor.
Yeah, I know of them.
And he just had I was listening to his podcast the other day. He had a caller who was making like $250,000 a year, but went to college, got his doctorate, whatever, and he's 45 years old, and he's still got $150,000 worth of debt that he just can't pay off with all of his life, with all the life's expenses, and that's just kind of what happens to
That
people.
whole twist on it with, to wipe out student loan debt is a real slap in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, for, people who paid for it out of their own pockets. Okay, I didn't have any grants or whatever they call them. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, all those loans, those scholarships, they give
I
whatever
didn't
you
have
can.
the scholarship,
Yeah.
I just paid it out of pocket. That's it. And really, the first 5 years of that whole experience was just killing time. The last 5 years are the ones that counted.
Yeah.
And I started a business prior to graduating. I didn't have a plumbing license, but I was doing HVAC because I had a background in refrigeration and air conditioning. So I was doing residential air conditioning and some small refrigeration jobs for, restaurants and diners, no big manufacturing refrigeration, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was doing that and going to school at night at Fairleigh to eventually get the degree. Okay. I didn't go back to school 9 to 5,
Right.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
It was squeeze courses in whenever you can.
Yeah.
I also feel like the college experience nowadays, a lot of people can't work at the same time because college is also a full-time job. It really is. Like my brother went to school for his doctorate. He went to the medical field. I mean, he also did gymnastics, but he was a little bit behind in that field because gymnastics and school took all of his time. He had no time to, get a job on the side. There was no time to, there was barely time to sleep.
I mean, he likes to live his life like that, though.
He does. He's a very stressed, high-strung person,
Yeah.
but I also feel like the pressure and all of the workload that they give you in college is very different than it used to be.
Yeah.
I think it becomes more of a full-time job, and you kind of lose the work motivation to do something outside of college. But
It's a totally every aspect it's a totally different world than the 1900s
Well,
from today.
I mean, just the high school experience alone.
Yeah.
Kids are so stressed out because they're bombarded with homework.
Yeah.
And then they're bombarded with, the whole college thing is to get your brag sheet together, which, who do you, volunteer for?
Yeah.
What are you doing for the community?
Yeah.
What other stuff are you doing outside of school? What
Yep.
sports you doing,
We need people. I mean, Max says it all the time. After high school, just work for a summer. Just work for a year. Get a part-time job with a plumber. Get a part-time job at a deli. go find someone that kind of interests you. If you want to learn food, if you want to learn contract, if you want to learn plumbing, we're, like I said, and you know it, we're desperate for good workers who want to put in the time and learn the business and not just float by. We're desperate for somebody who wants to come in. Like I'll bring in guys and have them work for me for 5-6 years and then send them off for their own business. I'm fine with that.
Right.
I'm not looking for lifers here. I'm looking to raise up good plumbers in the industry and go out and flourish on your own.
Yeah,
You know?
the dynamic has changed somewhat, though. I'm on the advisory board down at Bergen Tech, on the plumbing advisory board and the HVAC advisory board. So I got to talk to the day students who are actually got skin in the game. They're paying money to go and learn how to do this stuff. And I'm giving them some direction, as unlike the apprenticeship school, which is at night. Okay. Those people are generally people that expect to get a license and perhaps go into business. And I'd like to get a chance to talk to them as well. But I talk to the guys during the day, and I advise them of all the different career paths there are.
Yeah.
Once you graduate, are you going to do commercial work? Are you going to try to get into the union? Are you going to do commercial service, commercial rough? Okay, residential service, residential rough plumbing. Okay, you want to work for a vendor? You want to work for a manufacturer? You want to be a rep? There's so many things that you could do, and they think they're going to plumbing school to learn the plumbing, and then they're going to fall into a job when they get out. Okay, not everybody's cut out to be in their own business.
No,
okay,
that's very true.
And my experience with Gen Ys and Gen Zs, okay, because I live by all the different generations, okay. I've got the whole gamut working for me, okay.
Right.
And the Gen Ys and Gen Zs, man, they don't want the responsibility. They want to come to work. I don't want to say 9 to 5 because they are a little more flexible than that, but they want a defined day, okay, and they want 5 days a week, and they prefer those to be weekdays. Okay. Okay. Not weekends. So, and then they want to leave and have a clear head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not have to worry about it.
You can't blame them for that. Not everybody's cut out to be in their own business because all that stuff goes out the window when you're in your own business.
Yeah.
Okay. So I try to let them know. And, even at that last meeting we were talking about at the Brownstone, where the Ronnie brought all his students, those were all fourth-year apprentices, okay? And
we were there.
I had a table full of them. I made sure I sat at the table with all the kids, okay? I call them kids. Some of them were 30, 40 years old. So to me, they're kids.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so I'm old.
You're young at heart. I feel it.
I'm telling them all, man, you got so many opportunities, so many ways to go with this thing. Ronnie is steering them like you got to get a license and go into business. I'm thinking these guys aren't prepared for it.
Yeah.
Some of them it'll never work out.
No.
Why set them up for failure?
Yeah.
Okay. And who needs that black eye to the industry?
Yeah.
Okay. So the worst thing is when somebody goes into business, takes a bunch of money, can't make it happen, and then goes out of business.
Right.
Every warranty that he ever gave out is worth garbage now. And it's like, oh man, my guy was here and now he's out of business. I can't reach him.
Yeah.
Well, who needs that?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I try to direct them. There's lots of opportunity. They could come to work for you. They could come to work for me. They could have a very good living.
Yeah.
Okay. And they can have the freedom that they want to pursue their other hobbies or whatever. They're not married to a business.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're married to a business, man, you sacrifice family, you sacrifice a lot of other pursuits.
You sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
So the story I took over from my uncle 9 years ago. All right. I don't fully own it yet. He still has a slight hand in it.
Right.
But I'm running the thing. And he's my right-hand man.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you see.
Yeah.
I mean,
there are days where
my soul is dying.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
You have 2 days in a row where 19 people are calling back from some stupid part you put in, or there's just weeks where there's just some people who cannot handle that. I can barely handle that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm just like you said, his right hand man. And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night like, you know, seeing things because you feel it. And I think that's what's great about working so close to the business owner. You know, I don't know how your relationship with your employees is, but when you work real close, you learn a lot of, first of all, the business side of things, because you can come into this industry with wide eyes and being like, oh my God, I really want to own my own business one day. And, you know, I have these big dreams and these aspirations. And like you said, some people are cut out for it. And then you can see it and you can, and you take a step back and you go, whoa, this is a stressful life. And whatever business, it's not just plumbing, it's anything. I mean, my father owns his own business. I see what that does to somebody. You know, my dad used to be good looking and have long hair. Now he's fat and bald. It's like, it does it to somebody.
Shorter.
You got a mirror around here?
You know, we've gone to school with some guys. So I want to touch base with what you just said. I'm very open with him. He knows he has access to our number sheets. He knows exactly our expenses.
Right.
I got the bank account too. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he doesn't. But he knows the ins and outs. And listen, if you stayed with Quartz for the rest of your life, that's great. But I want to make sure that when he goes out and if he starts his own business, I don't want people to be like, "Oh, who taught you?" You know what I mean? That's a dig at us,
right?
Quartz Plumbing. Like, what kind of guys you putting out in the world? So he knows our break even. He knows what it has to be hourly, what we have to make. But we've gone to school with guys who they've been there for 10 years and they don't even know how to write up an invoice. There's one old guy that'll go around, he'll drive around, he'll write up all the estimates, he'll sell the job, and then the guys just go do the work.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Well, I'm sure you've had a lot of workers for you that over the years that have gone on to run their own business.
Sure, they've gone on and ran their own business. First of all, if you're going to hire people, they're not going to be able to make you money unless they understand what you need to charge and why it is you need to charge that. Okay, so once they get that, they understand that, they feel more comfortable charging what they have to charge and explaining it to the customer. Okay, but when I got into it, it was old school. Everything was hush hush. Quiet. Don't
Cash
show them
the
books or whatever. They'll go out on their own, and then they'll be your competition. You want them to go out if they're going to go out on their own. You want them to be good competition.
Right.
Not spiraling down and lowering the bar down, to race to the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference between today. Today, to be in business, we're very fortunate, and the new guys are very fortunate that they have the big private equity companies here. Okay, that's a plus because those people in those companies have taught a lot of people how to run a business. This is how it's supposed to be done. When I got into the business was primarily populated by mom and pop, 1, 2, 3, 4 man shops. Yeah. Okay. They dictated what the price would be. Okay. What you could charge. And most of them didn't have a clue as to how to figure out a rate. It was the old call the competition and just set your price a little lower. Okay, so you could get all the business.
Right.
Okay, so that was the race to the bottom. And that's the way it was for many years. It was very difficult. We went flat rate because of that in like 1989.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Did you really that long ago?
Oh, yeah. I met Frank Blau when I was like 87. I was like 37 years old. I was like a little kid.
If you're the godfather of North Jersey plumbing, he's the godfather of flat rate, would you say?
Oh, yeah. He's the godfather of the world of plumbing, right? Yeah, he made a lot of people understand business, okay, and what they had to do in order to be successful, okay? Yeah. And he had a huge impact on me. But we went flat rate at that time because we couldn't compete with the time and material guys because of what it was. You were shopped as a commodity. Yeah. Okay. What's your hourly rate? What's your hourly rate? Okay. I don't know. And guys try to hide it by marking up material. And then, of course, Home Depot comes along and wipes that out. Yeah. You can't mark up material like that anymore. Yeah. So now, if I'm coming into this business, the bar is now set by private equity. Okay. And
Give me an example of private equity. What do you mean by that?
that's Gold Medal.
Okay, gotcha.
Len the plumber.
Gotcha.
AJ Perry.
Yeah.
Okay. And Scylla, who's coming into the area.
Gives us way more wiggle room, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they know what they have to charge in order to make money.
Yeah.
Okay. So they've raised the bar. People know that, oh, gee, Gold Medal was in here before me. I can, you shouldn't charge based on,
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
But you, and really, in order to capture your costs and make a fair profit, 10-15% net profit is not unrealistic.
Right.
It's going your numbers are going to be up there. Okay. You're not making money in this business at $200 an hour. Okay. You're not. You're losing money, whether you know it or not. Okay.
Yep.
And it will manifest itself. It'll hit you down the line.
Yeah.
I've purchased a number of companies that operate like that, and they had to get out because they were not making money; they were losing money.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I mean by private equity.
Yeah, I
okay?
gotcha.
Those guys have raised the bar, and compounded by the fact that the Gen Ys and the Gen Zs don't want to be in business. They want a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. They want to make big money and with minimal discomfort.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is cool because we need to hire them.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2023, approximately 500 plumbing licenses did not renew in New Jersey. They either died, aged out, retired to Florida, or just gave up their license. Okay? There was like 497. 49 new licenses were handed out.
Yeah.
He gives that stat all the time.
Yeah.
One in 10.
For every seven
that
to 10
leaves.
plumbers that kick the bucket or retire, only one comes up.
So right now there's 5,100 active licenses in New Jersey.
Yep.
Okay? There's 13,000 numbers. Okay, but it's 5,100 active licenses, and it's a problem. Okay,
Yeah.
It's fortunate for us because there's not much competition.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it's an industry problem.
It is going to be a problem. It's going to be a societal problem.
Yeah.
These are the jobs, electrical, plumbing. This is what makes the world go round. It really does. It's what makes society propel forward. American Standard, what's their tagline? The plumber protects the health of a nation, with that really cool logo that they copyright so smartly. I wish they hadn't. I would love to put it up on the wall.
Yeah,
but,
what's his name? Norman Rockwell.
Yeah,
Right.
The guy, the plumber sitting on
Yeah,
the pile of rocks. Yeah.
Next to the lead torch.
It's true though. Jordan Peterson says the same thing. He's like, plumbers save more lives than doctors. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But it's a problem when, as society progresses, you need people to come up and keep the industry growing like in a V shape to grow with the population. And all contracting is going down. So it's going to be a wake-up call for society when you have to wait 2 months for a plumber.
Yeah.
Well,
really.
I think that's what's important about what you've done and what you're doing is now that there's less and less plumbers, you have to know your value and your worth way more because you can't stretch yourself in every single direction, live just to work, and charge, like you said, the $200 an hour. And what are you doing? You're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, a slave to your work, instead of like what you've done, charging right for your business, hiring good guys, and creating a good environment for the up-and-coming plumbing industry.
Creating a good job. It's like it pays well. It's got great benefits. Look at you take our truck home. Just go back and forth. You don't even need your own vehicle. I'm going to buy your clothes. You're going to have your own the uniforms and whatever. All right. There'll be a retirement plan for you. Okay. You got medical insurance and whatever. Yeah. So these are pretty darn good jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
People have to pay for that.
Oh, sure.
The customer has to pay for that. You're welcome to pay for some schmuck to go in there, fly by night your job, and that's it, and bounce out. House flippers are the worst. They'll come in, they flip a house. In 2 years, we're fixing everything in the house. But a customer, you're welcome to give that guy business, hope that it doesn't fail. But I want guys to come in here with clean uniforms, nice attitudes, who I can afford to educate, who I can afford to put on the job and make sure that they do a good job. And plus, they have to live around here.
Yeah.
We got to live in your area. You know what I mean? I'm not commuting from Scranton. It's not happening.
You're not going to get somebody who can live in Bergen County and pay them peanuts, man. It's not an inexpensive place to live.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So it's the cost of doing business. It's the fact that there's no new plumbers coming up. And I don't want to say it's a gold mine, but there's a huge opportunity for people who want to be entrepreneurs. This is a great place to go. Plumbing specifically. We want to take a break real quick. We're coming up on almost 45 minutes, but when we come back, I want to touch base on your history.
Okay.
Your business history, the companies back and forth, how that went down.
Sure.
But you know what? Before we take a break, I want to bring up the association again. Everything you said about the association, I 100% agree with. But also networking is huge in that.
Yeah.
Guys bouncing ideas off. And what about like standing up for the industry to local governments?
Well, there's local governments and there's the state government.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, on the federal level, there's other associations that are nationwide. The State League of Master Plumbers that I talk about a lot is basically a New Jersey operation. But, protecting the public by standing up for the codes and the safety stuff that we have to adhere to, that, in their quest to be good guys, politicians sometimes don't realize what they're doing when they dumb things down.
Right.
Okay. Like, oh yeah, anybody can do this. Anybody can run gas lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Okay. What? Jesus, I mean, you're talking about the most explosive stuff in the house. Yeah. And fortunately, through some association actions, that the running of gas pipe is basically codified with, okay, so HVAC guys got it also, but plumbers got it back as well. So now handymen don't run gas lines. Yeah. Okay.
Well, they do, but
well, they don't. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but they.
Right. But there's other things like that. They're constantly things being chipped at. Listen, we talked about it before. The water treatment people, they want to do plumbing. Okay. Right. They know water treatment. They don't know plumbing. They didn't go to school and put in the time that we did. Okay. Yeah. So, and there may be politicians. So the guy's brother-in-law is a politician, who runs the, water treatment business. Hey, can you help me out with this? And it's next thing you know,
it's all a game.
Doing it.
Yeah. It's a Game of Thrones. Yeah. But if you I wanted to make this point that if you, Max said a lot of young guys in the industry, they don't feel that they feel the association is like an old man's thing, but it's really not, because we kind of have to band together to fight this. I don't want to get all, right. You literally, it's a literal government beast that'll come down and dog your industry down to nothing. Sure. And all these younger guys, they would rather just be on an island. It's not going to work out in the long run. I always think the association is way more important than guys give it credit for.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. All right, let's take a break. Okay. We'll be right back. Guys, listen, if you're interested in coming on to Plum Bums Podcast, it's a lot of fun. It's really relaxed. If you're a small business owner in Bergen County or even surrounding Bergen County, or an entrepreneur, we'd love to have you on. You're going to go to quartzplumbing.com. You're going to click the podcast logo. You're going to scroll down and you're going to fill out Be a Guest application, and we'll have you on. It's a lot of fun. Also, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor this season, Jigsaw PMR, jigsawpmr.com. Jigsaw PMR, and nope, it's jigsawpmr.com. Sorry, Otto. We want to give a shout out to those guys. Excellent remediation company, mold, sewer, fire, water. They will come in, they will take care, they will deal with your insurance company. You don't have to do anything. They know everything to say to the insurance company to get you the most coverage. They have claims adjusters that will come in and take care of all that stuff. So get them, check them out, jigsawpmr.com. And folks, stick with us and we will be right back.
Call Quartz Plumbing and Heating for top-rated service in Bergen County, New Jersey. And don't forget forget to keep treats for Frankie on hand.
Jigsaw PMR Property Maintenance Restoration in Oradell, New Jersey. Ready to tackle the toughest disasters affecting your home or business. With state-of-the-art equipment and years of experience, our responsive staff will get you back home quicker than anyone else. Check us out at jigsawpmr.com and follow our cleanup journey on Instagram and Facebook. Give us a call at 201-425-4855. Jigsaw PMR, restoring peace of mind.
Folks, welcome back to Plum Bums Podcast, the Blue Collar Tradesman Show, where we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, the Everyman's Podcast. I'm getting better at that. So I had a Monday from hell. I had a weekend from hell.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend. Don't buy ShopRite ground beef.
Don't buy meats from ShopRite. ShopRite meats, I don't care if they hear this, they suck. ShopRite meats suck.
I made tacos on Sunday.
Tacos on Thanksgiving?
No, I'm sorry. Last Sunday I made tacos. The first bite, I was so happy to make homemade tacos. The first bite, there was like a bone in the ground beef, split my tooth in half. I didn't know how bad it was. It was bearable. I go to the dentist later that week. He goes, all right, yeah, it's got to be pulled. It's split. We can get you in 2 weeks. The Saturday after Thanksgiving.
What is this, Canada? 2 weeks?
I don't know what. 2 weeks. He goes, I can't get you in for another 2 weeks. By Saturday after Thanksgiving, I was in agony.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you with the tooth pain before.
The worst pain in the world with there's no relief.
And you come out of the dentist office with a cigarette and a Coke still. He doesn't learn.
I waited.
He doesn't learn. I just want a Coke and a cigarette.
I was sitting in that chair, and the dentist is, before he puts Novocaine in and to numb it and everything, he's like poking and prodding to see how bad it is. And he used this tool to open up the fracture a little bit.
I feel like they do that on purpose, though.
I went through the ceiling.
When they know that you have a sensitive spot, they know it. And for you to take a tooth and put a tool in it and then just maneuver it, I think he likes to see you writhe in pain. I was laying there, and he goes, and I go, and I just mush the faces of the two people, and I just lean forward, and I'll never forget that feeling. That was, you ever seen the movie Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman?
Oh yeah.
If there's there's 2 scenes in that movie. They don't show much, but it will haunt you. You should watch that movie.
All right.
I can't remember what I haven't seen.
That's where they're drilling holes in his teeth.
They're drilling holes in his teeth. Yeah.
Is it a horror movie or is it just at
it's
the dentist?
I don't even remember what it's about.
He was torturing him.
Yeah, there was 2 scenes where they're just
War scene?
No.
War movie? No?
No, it's some kind. I don't remember what it was about, but those 2 scenes I remember seeing when I was a kid, and they will haunt you.
You know that it hurt when your mind goes to a movie scenario from the 70s where you're like...
So the dentist was using the equivalent of a dental yarning iron, when you're packing down cement and oakum. Yeah. Let it know.
God, that's just terrible. Tooth pain is the worst. Sorry, women, but I don't believe you. I'm sorry. Oh, tooth pain is the worst. Okay, I can't.
I'm telling you, I believe they get off to it. I went to the school. I went to the school to Bergen, not Bergen Tech. Bergen
FDU. Didn't you go to FDU?
No, I went to Bergen Academies or Bergen Tech or whatever it is, in Paramus, because I'm a cheapo and it's $35 for a cleaning instead of $150 for a cleaning. And so I go there and it's a student and the teacher comes over while the student's doing the cleaning or whatever. And I had an area that was a little bit more sensitive, not a cavity. And the teacher starts digging into it. The student was very gentle, but the teacher starts digging into it. And you can see me in pain. And she keeps doing it. I'm like, no. You know there's something there. So either fix it, tell me about it, or stop poking at it.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of what you were describing of the training of how to find a pain point and really get on it.
Yeah.
To sell the job.
Yeah, there you close the show.
Folks, we're here with Mike Medaglia, plumbing extraordinaire, plumbing guru, plumbing godfather, everything you want to say. You're telling us an interesting story about that, the movie Godfather.
About the Godfather. Yeah, that was my uncle in, I believe it was Godfather 2 when Michael Corleone's having his son baptized. And during that scene, his goons were out there killing all his competition off. And the scene went on for about at least 10, 15 minutes. And the priest was actually my uncle.
That
my
is
uncle,
so funny.
Joseph Medaglia. Yeah.
Joey Medaglia.
You're gonna get upset at me right now.
Hollywood
Why
is
is
just
that?
New Jersey with celebrities.
Hollywood is New Jersey with celebrities. It's not even that great.
Celebrity plumbing.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Godfather.
No. Oh my God. So you have so much
My God.
interesting stuff to watch then.
I know.
You know, you can 1, 2, 3.
You know I haven't seen it because you say that you'd have that reaction.
I know
every
you haven't
time.
seen some big movies, but who hasn't seen The Godfather? It's just
It's
like,
like,
on the list of movies that you have to see.
It's cinema history.
Yeah.
I guess people say
Okay.
it's the perfect movie.
It's like-
I'll watch it
Yeah.
eventually.
So
What am
now
I,
you'll know
43?
when during the scene, you know, blah, blah,
Well, I'm
blah.
gonna watch it now.
Okay.
I have to watch it now.
Well, that means you got to watch 1 and then 2.
And
Yeah.
there's the third.
Yeah, the third
the
wasn't
third
so
was,
great.
yeah, it was.
Well, that's how they usually
They're
go.
stretching it out. They were stretching
Yeah,
it
they were
out.
stretching the franchise out a bit too far.
Listen, that's what Hollywood does.
Well,
Yeah,
look, they're on
cash grab.
Fast and Furious 12 or something
Yeah,
like that.
Rocky 19.
Yeah. He made the perfect first movie.
Oh, yeah.
The perfect.
You think Rocky's the perfect movie?
Rocky was the perfect movie. It was a low budget movie. It was a great story.
That role was perfect for him.
Perfect for him. Amazing story. And if you ended it there, you create one of
He
the
staked
greatest.
his life on that movie.
Yeah.
His
Oh,
whole
yeah.
life on that movie. He put his whole life on the line for that movie.
Yeah, they got to give the guy a lot of credit. He's had like 3 franchises. Him, that Rambo thing,
Oh, yes.
you know, and you know.
Yeah.
He was like the most popular actor of the 80s with 2 movies.
Yeah.
Rambo series and Rocky series.
Yeah.
Mike, again, thanks for being here, man.
And here I am.
The
The Waterworks series.
The black sheep of the family, but I guess it still worked.
Mike, you have given us snippets of wisdom. I want to dig into your brain a little bit more, but I kind of want to know your history of getting into plumbing, like how it started, the
Okay.
differences from what it is today, from what it is back then. You said you went to college for 10 years, you were there, and you finally broke into the plumbing industry. What was the whole
The catalyst for what
Yeah.
created.
Well, like a lot of people, a lot of businesses, I got into this business and immediately pursued the worst end of the business, which was being a subcontractor for builders. Working to do additions, add levels, bathroom remodeling, new construction, the worst end of the business.
agreed.
Okay.
I fully agree.
The easiest end, okay, all right, because there's not a lot of transactions, you know, it's not a lot required of you. You know, setting up a service business where you have like, you know, 5 transactions a day per technician. You know, if you got 10 technicians, you got 50 transactions going on in one day. You know, you'll do 1 transaction for a month's worth of work with a general contractor. But of course, they beat you up. They take you for money. They use you as a bank. So right around 1982, I got started in the business as Waterworks in 1979. That's when I incorporated as Waterworks. Prior to that, I was doing, like I told you, air conditioning and refrigeration work. But when I got my plumbing license in 79, that's when I incorporated the plumbing. And I already had the plumbing knowledge from my dad and whatever. So we started doing all this general contract, all this subcontracting. And in 82, I think it was either the first or the second Arab oil embargo that threw the country into a massive recession. Really bad recession. Not as bad as the housing one.
Right.
Okay. But I'm working for about 8 different building contractors, and one by one, they're all going belly up on me.
Oh, wow.
And they all owe me money.
That's
Yeah.
scary.
Okay. I calculated that in 1982, I lost about $225,000
Wow.
in 1982
That's a
dollars.
lot, yeah.
Equivalent to 14 billion today.
Including about the budget of New Jersey.
For younger people, that's like 12 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I had just moved into Washington Township. Okay, I bought this commercial piece of property in a residential neighborhood, and I had like 10 trucks on the road with, and each one of them had a crew, and they were working for these building contractors. I took 8 of them and parked them inside the shop, and just like shrink wrapped them. Okay, and then swore off ever working for a general contractor again. At the time, it was a wonderful time because marketing meant either you put an ad in the yellow pages or you sent out direct mail.
Yeah.
That was the 2 forms of marketing. That's it. That's what it was. So we put ads in the yellow pages, and fortunately for us, at the time, the ads in the yellow pages were seniority by alphabetic order. Okay.
AAA plumbing.
Waterworks became AAA Waterworks. Okay. And we kept adding A's, to keep the competition away. And we were first in the book. And it was amazing. And I started doing only service work. So that was in 83. We did that. And at that time, we were doing time and material just like everybody else.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out why I'm not making any money. Okay. And so I'm calling everybody up, all my competition up. What are you charging? What are you charging? What are you charging? And I was setting my price somewhere around theirs. I didn't want to be lower. Okay. But I didn't want to be too high. But of course, that was, as Frank Blau says, that's the blind leading the blind, because they had no idea what business was like. So I'm stumbling my way through the 80s. I'm hiring people. And sheer strength of personality and sheer enjoyment, people would come to work for me, and we would have a good time. Okay, so then I meet a guy named Doc Rusk Heating and Air Conditioning in Kentucky. He was on the Honeywell seminar circuit. And I'm a big guy, seminar guy. I'm always I'm in trade magazines constantly. I'm going to seminars. I'm going to trainings all the time. So I end up at this, how to double your business with a 10% profit. That was the name of it. And Doc Rusk was the trainer. Okay.
Where was he out of?
He was out of Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. That's right.
Right. And he's selling heating and air conditioning like crazy in Kentucky, and he's making all kinds of money, and he's throwing around his financials and whatever. And I'm starting to get an education on, what the hell, what are these things called financials? Okay. I'm keeping track of everything, looking at my bank account and looking at my checkbook. Okay. And that's about it. I got money in the checkbook this week. I'm doing okay.
Right.
All right. But now I'm starting to see, well, gee, here's a thing called the income statement, and it shows me, what my expenses are.
Right.
And how the top line doesn't match the bottom line. What's going on here, The bottom line is supposed to be big, okay? So then I meet up with a guy named Frank Blau, a guy named Rich DeToma, up in Rockland County, Anytime Plumbing. He was
that's a great name.
He was a pretty progressive guy. He couldn't delegate, okay? He still writes articles for PHC magazine,
okay.
Rich DeToma, and they're very, very knowledgeable articles. And he's still going retreading the same stuff that Frank Blau was doing. But it serves a good purpose because the young guys, hopefully, they read these magazines, okay?
Yeah.
They probably don't. They should. But we go to this seminar with Frank Blau, The Business of Contracting. And I'm always looking for this kind of stuff to learn. Okay, so I go there and I get blown away by this guy, Frank Blau. Holy Christmas. He's calling us idiots. He's smoking cigarettes a mile a minute on the stage. And he's telling us that, you got to understand what your break-even cost is. You got to understand billable hour efficiency. You got to understand how to read a income statement. You got to understand a balance sheet. Okay. And you have to charge flat rate. You cannot charge time and material. You can't make money charging time and material because the money you got to charge, nobody will pay if you're going to reveal it up front like that. So I was blown away, and I started adapting everything. And he had this thing called a flat rate manual, okay? And you could subscribe to him, and he would send you the paper pages to put in the manual with, all the usual tasks, all the usual plumbing tasks. They're in there. So this was already made up for me. You just tell him what you want to charge per hour, what you think your billable hour actually is, your break even, and he would make up a book that would give you a 10 or a 15 or 20% profit, whatever you dictated. So we right away subscribed to this, okay? And we right away went to flat rate, and it was like the world changed. Now, all of a sudden, we had money to buy new trucks. We didn't have to buy used window vans and black out the windows so people couldn't look in, and we could actually letter them, okay?
Yeah.
Wow, what a concept. And we had money, and we could pay people what they were worth and give them the benefits that they needed. So that was the beginning. And now I'm thinking, Frank Blau and I become great friends, and I'm sponsoring seminars, bringing them back around, okay? So other people... See, I was a president of the Bergen County Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Contractors Association at that time.
Okay.
So I brought him in to show my members. We had like 80 members in Bergen County. This is what you need to be doing, okay? Yeah. Some of them took it up, some of them didn't, okay? But that's what really taught me how to understand the numbers, okay?
What was it like getting into flat rate when no one else is doing it in your area? It's a hard sell when no one else.
It really wasn't that difficult.
No?
Because people prefer to know what the cost of something is going in as opposed to some nebulous thing, it's time and material. Well, I didn't really sleep well last night. I had an argument with my wife in the morning.
Right.
And,
so I'm going to take it out on you.
Yeah, my ankle hurts. I split my tooth.
Yeah. Oh, people got charged pretty penny today. No,
somebody's got to pay that dentist.
Exactly.
So it was actually, we flipped it into being a benefit of doing business with our company. One of the big benefits that you'll find doing business with our company is you'll know the cost of the repair before we even start. Mm-hmm. We don't do time and material because it's better for you to know the cost.
Yeah.
Okay? So we packaged that in. And don't forget, we were competing, I said this off air, but the dynamic at that time was there was a lot of mom and pop small shops that didn't understand business and didn't know what they had to charge, and the way they based their price was it would be lower than the next guy.
Yeah.
The blind leading the blind.
The blind leading the blind on a race to the bottom. Yeah. Okay? And we didn't want to participate in that at all. Okay? So that was our way out of it. Okay? Of course, today it's different. There are more larger companies that set the bar as to where the price should be. And so everybody benefits, even the people that don't understand business.
Right.
They know that ABC is charging this much. All I have to do is charge a few dollars less, but I'll be making money because they've made sure that they're going to make money. Yeah. Okay. So I would suggest that anybody that's going into this business have some kind of an understanding of financials, of some kind of a business background. Okay, you don't have to go to school for 4 years to get this background. You could pick up with the internet. You could pick this stuff up anywhere.
100%.
Okay,
you can get your education off YouTube, no problem, and be fine.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. And I do my best. I talk to contractors all the time, every day, telling them what to do, how to figure this stuff out, and that exile that I had after I sold Waterworks. Well, I'm kind of jumping around. I did that Waterworks thing after I got started in the flat rate service and repair only business. I had a run from like 1989, 1990, right through 2007. Was that 27 years?
17.
Yeah.
Right?
1990 to 2007 is 17.
17 years. Okay. To 2017. Okay.
2017 is
27 years
Yeah.
of doing flat rate service. Okay. And I grew not at a rapid pace because I was still learning.
Yeah.
Still learning as I was going along. So I'm having a good old time. It's 2017. Now I've got people running my business. I've got like 38 employees and all kinds of trucks and stuff on the road. People are running my business for me. I'm playing golf 3 times a week. I'm living life, living large, and making money. Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile,
I got to say, there was a brief period in there of like 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, with the housing crunch hit and the Great Recession. Yeah. That was a big problem.
Everyone talks about it when they come on here. It hit everybody.
Oh, it hit hard. I mean, I stopped taking a paycheck for a while. It was really tough. So, but then by 2012, 2013, things started rebounding, really snapped back hard. And now I'm making money like crazy. And 2017 rolls around, and like I said, I'm playing golf 3 times a week. I'm going to Florida. I'm going all over the place, and I'm getting calls and direct mail stuff from business brokers left and right. All the bullshit. Oh, we got buyers for your business. Whatever. Yeah. Most of it's garbage.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I have no intention of selling. Okay. So I get a call one day from a broker, business broker, and he had a friendly voice, and I was getting ready to tell him, get lost, whatever. And I said, you don't have any idea what it's like being in this market. Okay, where are you calling from? And he goes, Tenafly, New Jersey.
Oh wow.
So I said, Tenafly. Oh, okay. So you're right around the corner. I said, I graduated from Tenafly High School. So he said, yeah, I'd like to come by and talk to you about your business. So I said, well, since you're in Tenafly, you could come by to my place in Westwood. And he came by, and he was with a company called SF&P, okay, a guy named Fred Silverman, who lines up businesses for private equity companies to buy. Okay, he's really sharp. He's a really powerful guy. Okay, I had no intention of selling at the time. Okay, like I said, I'm making money like crazy, and I'm hardly doing any work. So they came in and
made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
That's basically what it amounts to. They did a deep dive into the business before they did that, and then they came up with this number that was like, I brought it home to my wife. I said, can you believe this? When is something like this going to come around again?
Right.
Because this is the second wave of consolidation that I've been through. The first wave was in the early 90s when Service Experts, ARS, American Residential Services, Blue Dot, and a bunch of others were buying local companies. And
what time period was this?
This was the early
90s.
Right.
Okay.
And they were buying up a lot of companies, but they were buying it up with stock. They weren't paying cash. They were giving you stock in their companies because they were all looking to go public.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing fell apart.
Yeah.
People lost their businesses. They lost money. They had all this worthless stock. And I was approached many times, and they were making me offers, that I'm thinking, if I stayed in business for another 2 or 3 years, I'd make that amount of money anyway. So who needs them?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I was a young guy at the time, so I passed that up. But now this time came around, and I'm going, let me see. That was the early 90s. This is 2017. That's like 20 some odd years old. Am I going to be alive the next time this thing comes around? Okay. So maybe I should take advantage of this. So bottom line is I ended up selling my company to Horizon Services, which is the owner of Gold Medal.
Yeah.
They own like 20 different brands. Gold Medal, one of them. Okay. And then I end up on a 5-year non-compete. I had to work for the company for a year and a 5-year non-compete. And the Gold Medal during that 5 years changed. Okay, they were private equity companies generally own these businesses for 4 or 5 years, build up the value, and then sell it to the next guy.
Yeah.
Next guy comes in, cuts all wherever they can.
Yep.
They drive money to the bottom line, and then they sell it.
Yeah.
Okay. So they just keep making money and making money. But in doing that, they sometimes, the private equity companies that come in, they cheapen the service, they cut corners. It's not the same company that it was. It was a great company to work for. Now it's a bad company to work for. Their philosophies change and whatever. So in that 5-year period, I had an opportunity to go into the consulting business. So I went into the consulting business working with, I had written into my contract, because as a non-compete, they don't want you competing against them, but I had written it in that I would be, my consulting business would be allowed, and I would work out of the area with other plumbing, HVAC service companies.
Right.
Okay.
That's smart.
And so what I did was I was going around and looking at other people's books and telling them what they're doing wrong, showing them what they need to do in order to get this stuff straightened out, get their businesses straightened out. A lot of them were companies in that predicament I was in with building contractors. They realize they can't make money. They want to get into the service business.
Yeah.
How can I get into the service business? What do I have to do? So I would tell them. Some of them listened. Most of them didn't. Okay. But then they blame me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
What am I paying this guy $250 an hour for, to come over here and tell me what to do? And now I'm just out the money, and I'm not doing it, but I'm not getting any better at anything. Okay.
Right.
So, but I was enjoying it. Having a good time. And I was learning a lot, because now I'm valuing these businesses.
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting a valuation on it. They want to know, what's my business worth? So I'm looking at their numbers. I'm working out multiples, because now I've got an insight. I learned a lot just dealing with Horizon Corporation on negotiating my sale. Okay. I made a lot of mistakes. I learned from those mistakes, and I was passing that on to them. Okay. And I still, now that's how when I want to buy another company, okay, I know how to value them. Okay. I know what they're really worth, what you got to pay.
Like Mr. Wonderful.
And how to make the money.
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. Not as nearly as handsome, but and not nearly as charismatic.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. And then I put that to work when I went out and bought this Total Comfort. I had looked at probably, I'd say 10 or 12 other businesses before I bought this one. As a matter of fact, I was very close on another business, but there was a glitch with a lawsuit that the business couldn't be sold while the lawsuit was ongoing. I had already made a commitment to buy it, but the lawsuit changed everything. So I passed on that, and I ended up buying this business, Total Comfort. This business was established in 1965 in Franklin Lakes, and I was dealing with the original owner.
Really?
Roy Booth. He was a smart man. He knew how to run a business. It was a small business, There was 8 people involved, but he was thinking that it was time for him to retire.
You think?
He was 90 something. Okay,
Yeah.
He's coming to work every day.
Good for him.
It was him and his son-in-law. So I come marching in there to buy the business with my son-in-law.
Okay.
So right away there was a bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a good thing. I gave him a bunch of money for his business. It was worth it. And he was progressive enough to know that he had some maintenance agreements. Okay. But he also had a lot of good customers, old customers in the Franklin Lakes, Wyckoff, Mahwah, Allendale area. Very well, a very nice community, good incomes. Okay, not a low.
What are
end.
you looking for when you go to buy a business? What stands out, or is there?
Their numbers, right?
What's the bottom line? What are they making? What's the net? What's the net, the EBITDA? Okay, earnings before income taxes and amortization. Okay, that's just EBITDA is just a fancy word for the net at the bottom line. Okay, because you can only offer people a multiple of that number. Okay, and we know right now that private equity companies are probably paying in the 2 to 6 multiple range, okay, based on a variety of things that make your business valuable or not. Do they have maintenance agreements? What are the people like? What are the assets like? What's the culture like? Okay. Is the business growing? Is it dying? People have different motivations to sell. Oh man, this thing is getting to be too much for me to handle.
Right.
Okay, whatever. So there's like 10 items that I look at, and I put a grade for each of those items, and it's a number grade based on the multiple. Like I use numbers between 1 and 5. Because I'm never going to pay more than 5 times earnings for any business right now. Okay, any small business. Okay, the big guys that are that are doing 10, 15, 20 million a year, the multiples go higher for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Private equity companies are not looking at anybody who's making less, whose gross is less than 6 million a year. They're not looking at you.
Gotcha.
Okay. If you're doing $1 million a year, they're not looking at you.
All right, so we're safe.
Okay.
So we're
I don't know if it's safe. I think we're we're out of the equation.
You got a target to shoot for.
Yeah.
So, that's what I look for in a business. It is making money. I like to look at the businesses that are so busy that they're not doing the right thing for the customer. Okay,
that's
they're
where your
in and out.
consulting. Yeah, that's where your consulting comes in too.
Yeah,
like your consulting wing.
They run in, they're stamping out fires and getting out.
Yeah.
They're overlooking a lot of stuff.
I'm telling you, that'll kill. That was a hard lesson for me to learn.
Yeah.
I thought plumbing was you get in, you fix the problem, you get out.
Right.
It's not that. You want to get in there, give the customer great service and not see them for a long time. Or if you have a maintenance agreement or service agreement, you see them on their maintenances.
Right.
And when you go in, you're looking for other stuff and you're saying, okay, here's where another problem is coming up. I heard this guy on YouTube say, he goes, if you're not working to sell your company, all you have is a really risky job.
Yeah. You have to have an exit strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing you do when you go in business is figure out what your exit strategy is going to be. And then that's a target that you could shoot for. Okay. Because everybody's going to exit at some point.
Right.
Okay. And some sooner than others. Okay. So that person is a very smart person to tell you that. You get the company where a guy's got 3 technicians and he says, Bob, here's 5 tickets. Get these jobs done. Okay. Larry, here's 6 tickets. You get these jobs done because you're fast. Okay. Mo, you're a little slow. Here's 4 tickets. You do those. Okay. And just get them done. Okay. And these guys would get in and get out, get in and get out.
Horrible.
Meanwhile, you know what? They're working on a boiler, no heat. They're standing next to a 15-year-old water heater, but they don't even look at it.
They don't even look at it.
They just replaced the thermocouple, okay, on a 45-year-old HC 125 with leaking at the circulator elbow.
And all they're saying is, I got 5 more tickets. I got to get the hell out of here.
Got to get this done, man. Let me get out of there.
Yeah.
The boss doesn't want me spending any time here.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't make money driving from call to call.
Nope.
Okay. You make money when you're in somebody's house, and you're not. It's really bad customer service to overlook stuff like that. Okay. What are you going to do? Walk away from that 15-year-old heater, and then 3 weeks they're going to call you that the thing flooded their basement. And by the way, why didn't you tell me about that when you were here last time? Okay. Hamana.
Yep.
But we had to get out. We were in a hurry. Okay.
We got into. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's the style that you don't want to have.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look for businesses with that kind of style, because that means there's a lot of low-hanging fruit. Okay. Those customers are going to call that company back, and you now own that company. Okay. And you're going to go in and do the right thing. Okay. You're going to see, oh, wow, this boiler is ancient. Well, I mean, you're going to do an expansion package on this thing and put $1,800 into this thing for new expansion valve, relief valve, feed valve, expansion tank, the whole circulator, the whole thing. Why would you do that? And it doesn't even have any of the modern safeties. It doesn't have a rollout switch, doesn't have a spill switch, doesn't have a low water cutoff. Get this thing out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's time to change.
Yeah.
It's the what should you do moment. what do you think is the right thing to do here? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we've jumped in on that too, 4 or 5 years ago. And Paul used to sit on those seminars, but he was a one-man guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And you get to the point where you're just like, let me just make my money today and get back. I don't want to just think about this. But now, I'm running a lot of the office stuff. Max is in the field. There's now time to sit down and how are we going to get into the customer, give them the best service and not see them for a long time. And they have a great warranty. So we go in and you're familiar with it, but I'm just going to repeat it for, the viewers.
Sure.
We go in, somebody calls us for a hose bib. I go in, I look at that hose bib. That's your basic option to fix that hose bib.
Right.
But I say, before we get to the job, Nancy says, listen, the plumber's going to come in. He's going to look at your problem, but he's also going to point out other things that are connected to that problem. And he's going to give you options on repairs and warranties and stuff like that. So we've been trying to go that direction for a long time. What I would love to get my techs, because we're going to be hiring somebody soon. I'd love to get my techs in instead of, because plumbing, the new guy who's coming in, he knows plumbing. Let's learn how to do sales, how to close the sale, how to open the sale, how to speak to the customer, words not to say. It's almost like the contracting industry is it's no longer how good of a contractor you are. It's how good, I don't want to word this the wrong way, because you obviously need to be a good contractor. But it's how you get in there and you sell the job. Where are your talents on? Like the industry, your talents have to expand to just being a good plumber. You have to be able to banter with the customer. They have to like you. You have to be clean. You have to know your stuff, and you have to have eyes on everything. So you can lay down an option sheet and say, listen, you want to not see me and sit for a long time and save a lot of money? This is what needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
You pick this option. I'll give you a great warranty. We're a phone call away. We're going to take great care of you. You're really just selling yourself at that point.
Yeah, this stuff needs to be done. And if I take care of it now, it's going to be a lot less expensive than if I have to come back each time and start taking care of each item individually. The more I do, the more you save.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, whenever I run a call like this, I always offer a free home safety inspection to see if there's any problems that I can take care of while I'm still here.
That's it. You're getting their foot in the door.
Yeah. Stuff rolls off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Charlie Greer line. Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie Greer, tech daddy, baby. Okay. He's evolve or die.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a tech trainer. He still is.
He's right about that. Evolve or die.
Oh yeah.
Or you'll just fizzle out.
Sure.
It's not easy to make that transition. There weren't a big transition in the industry, I feel. There's a big age gap. Was it like 20 years ago, the average age of a plumber was like 42 or 43. Now it's like 61.
Oh, yeah. It's like the average age of our group. It's like 59.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to help turn that around.
He'll lower the average a little bit.
Yeah.
He put you in that group.
I'm all right with that. I know I'm getting old. My beard is graying out, all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's the truth. And what you'll have to do is you're going to have to look at your numbers. It all revolves around billable hours. The concept of billable hours is so important, and most guys can't wrap their head around it. Okay, that the gold standard for billable hours is like 50%. That means for every 8 hours you're working, you're going to bill for 4.
Exactly.
Okay. The rest of the time is going to be spent doing estimates, returning material, stocking your truck, doing paperwork, writing estimates, going out, looking at jobs, whatever. Okay. And if you're going to have 2 people now in the field, okay, you're going to have maybe like 1,800 billable hours, okay? Because you got a 2,000 hour year,
right.
2,080. You probably understand this already.
Yeah.
So,
but I want people.
If you're going to get 50% billable hour efficiency, a 2,080 hour year, 80 hours is gone on vacation right away. Okay, and then you got 6 paid holidays, and what about sick days or whatever? So you got another 10 days gone. Okay, so you really have like 1,900. And 90, whatever it is, 1,900 billable hours, excuse me. So if you just be conservative and use 1,000 hours a year, because it makes the math really simple.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you've got, these numbers don't make any sense, but the math will make sense. If you got $100,000 in costs and you have 1,000 hours a year to capture that, that means that your break-even selling price is $100 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. But in reality, you probably got 400,000, okay, in costs, and you got 1,000. So now your actual break-even is around 400 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And seriously, I don't care how efficient you are in this business. If you're doing service and repair work, not new construction, if you're doing service and repair work and you're charging less than $350 an hour, you got a crummy job.
You're dead in the water.
You got a crummy job, man. You bought yourself a crummy job.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you're rushing all over the place and
Yep.
you're not making the money that you could make coming to work for Quartz or coming to work for Total Comfort. You could make way more money working for us than doing that on your own and have half no liability, because you got the liability.
Exactly.
Okay? They screw something up, it's on you. Okay? And the responsibility is half. Okay.
We talk about this all the time. It was when I first I always worked for somebody. I was building high-end swimming pools before this. I was their plumber. I wasn't selling jobs. I wasn't in the books. This was all new to me. So when I came in, it was hard for me to sit here and charge Mrs. Smith, who's walking on a walker,
Right.
It was tough for me. Be like, oh, I can't charge her this. Meanwhile, she's sitting on a stack of cash in the back.
Yeah, right.
That's old, like
opening up, a financial investors thing.
Yes. Now I know that we come in, and I try to tell you this all the time. Us as plumbers, we come in, we're killing our body for your house.
Yeah.
We come in with a fully stocked truck with gas, insurance. I got a lady who answers the phones that I have to pay. Yeah. Okay. We have to go back and forth. We have to make sure that the plumbing we put in is going to last for the next 60 years. So I now have gotten to a point where it's not difficult for me to charge what I know I'm worth, but it took a while. It took years of learning and understanding the arguments and realizing how bad my knees have gotten in the last 6 years and how much my back hurts. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, you have the confidence now because you understand, and when it comes time to explaining it to a customer, they can feel that confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. They know
it does come down to confidence.
This guy knows what he's talking about. Okay. They're less likely to put up resistance.
Yeah.
Everything is too expensive. No matter what the price is, it's too expensive. So you just automatically assume that you're going to meet some resistance just like that. Okay. But you know what? We're there to make things safe, make you comfortable, okay? And like you said, when I'm done, you won't see me for a while. Mm-hmm. You won't have to see me for a while, okay? But there's soft skills that you have to develop, how to communicate, all right? And we're not high pressure people, okay? You want to do it, it's up to you. The choice is up to you. This is what I recommend.
Do you think ease of communication to the customer can be taught, or do you kind of have to have that?
I think it could be taught. What I tell my people is that I don't care what your personality is. You could have a hard time communicating, talking to girls in a bar or whatever it is the situation is these days, okay? But when you come to work for me, it's showtime.
Yeah.
Okay? You could be whoever you want. Like Robert De Niro was really an idiot, okay? Really an asshole in real life. But on the screen, he's this dynamic guy, man, You could be that dynamic guy in your own truck, okay? Just, nobody knows what you're really like, okay? Be anything you want. You want to be the Godfather? Be the Godfather, okay?
Showing up to acting class
Right, when
today.
you go home, you'll be your person, whoever you normally are, and that's it. Okay? So I learned that from a marketing guy out in California. He did a couple of big seminars for Nexstar. Nexstar is this huge best practices organization that I helped start. But he said, it's showtime, man. you get to be whoever you want when you
true.
get into the customer's house. They don't know what your personality
It's funny you
is.
say that. Yeah.
They don't know you're a stick in the mud. Okay, you're Mr. Dynamo.
Yeah.
Okay, just act like it. When you're done, you leave. You become whoever you are.
It took a lot for me to get into that. It took a lot listening to my uncle, how he spoke. And I picked up that over the years. And I said, oh, he makes a great point there. I'm going to retain that. I'm going to retain that. So I guess you're right. There is a certain dynamic that some people have and some people don't. But I do think that the important stuff to have a good technician can generally be taught to anyone if they're willing.
Yeah.
Willingness is the biggest thing.
Is a very big thing.
It's the biggest thing, absolutely.
Right. And, it's a two-way street, too. If they want to maximize their career in this industry, they need to put a little of their own time into it. Go watch a couple of YouTubes, in-home selling, personal advancement, communication skills, because our guys can make a lot of money based on how productive they are. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a whole different thing. Compensating technicians how to do it and how to do it right. Okay, we've been through a variety of different schemes. I don't mean schemes in a bad way. I mean different plans on how to compensate employees. I think we got it right now, but by putting in some of their own effort into it, they can really ratchet up the pay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
it really comes down to what you want to put into it. Your pay is worth, Casey said this actually. He goes, you are worth what you make from the skills that you acquire or something like that.
Right.
If you can put in boilers by yourself, you're worth this much. If you can sell this on a job at this profit margin, you're worth this. It takes work on the business owner to sit back and evaluate guys like that. And a lot of guys, they don't want to really do that. They just want to get out and here's your 5 work orders, here's your 6, go do it. But I like to say that we are in a period where there's a blue collar revolution. That's what I say all the time.
There is.
That there is a blue collar revolution right now where, and we talked about it in the first half, where guys are, especially in this industry, especially since COVID, realize that we make the world go round, So this is why advice from you guys, like, who have seen it, who have been there, who have sold businesses, who have done consulting, this is very valuable to me. I could talk about this stuff all day long.
Oh, sure. And I can shorten the learning curve for anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's valuable.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to hear it. Who am I? Who are you? What are you telling me? Like they already have they have it all. They know it all.
Pride is a killer.
So, yeah. So, you know what do they say? Be careful about giving advice because wise people don't need it and fools won't heed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of fools around.
That's true. There's a lot of plumbers in
Although
in
there
New
are
Jersey.
a lot less fools around in our industry.
I agree.
They're aging out.
Yeah.
Okay. No disrespect, guys. Sorry.
Well, you know what it is? The age gap in the last 25 years, look where plumbing advertising and marketing and branding has social media has changed the face of everything.
Oh, yeah.
There is no more yellow pages. Now you have to worry about being current on Instagram and making sure that you're running ads on Facebook and that you're, it's an insane change to this industry because when I was 10 years old, 11, my grandfather used to take us out and I remember what it was like. I remember their stupid ad in the yellow pages.
Right.
And now, Max doesn't have social media, but the ads we put on social media and we're making sure that I'm following the insights on the ads and who's watching this and who's clicking and what interests are there. This is why I say the construction industry no longer is just for good contractors. There's so many aspects you can get into and make money from.
Yeah.
True.
And I mean, I'm behind the curve on the whole social media thing. Okay. I tend to do a lot of my marketing in traditional avenues, direct mail.
Oh, you do direct mail?
Direct mail, coupons.
Does that work? Does that work out?
Direct mail is like, it's an automatic. You know, you get a 1% return. You're going to get between a 1 and 5% return on whatever you do with direct mail. It's like, you know, it's just numbers. It's a numbers game. Send out 10,000 pieces, okay? Get 100 leads, close 50%. So that's 50 jobs you got, okay?
It's actually pretty much the same with social media advertising.
Probably.
The numbers are pretty close, actually.
Just that I haven't taken the time to learn the whole social media thing. And it seems like it's a moving target.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
it's not easy.
There's every time I turn around, there's something else pops up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now AI, incorporating AI into this stuff is. I'm just switching. We're doing a new website, and I'm just switching digital companies, SEO companies. Okay. Because the company I used in the past for Waterworks, but I've gone beyond them now. Okay, so now they're going to handle the social media stuff because there's just not enough hours in the day to do all this stuff. Okay, yeah.
So you know, I got to delegate that out. That's it. You know, okay. My job in my business is hiring, marketing, and finances. That's it. That's all I do. I don't answer phones. I don't answer technical questions. I don't do any of that stuff.
Well, listen, you said it off air that delegating is very important, and a lot of guys don't know how to do it.
You have to do that to grow.
Yeah,
you have to do that. There's certain things that, you know, plateaus that Max and I were discussing. You know, you get to 1 million. To go from 1 million to a $2 to $3 million company, to go to $3 to $5 million company, $5 to $7 million. Okay,
yeah,
these are plateaus that you know, require different skill sets as you go along. But one thing that's constant throughout the whole thing is you got to delegate, because what's happening is you're hiring more people, and now there's layers of management going on as well as technicians.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to pick good people and groom them and give them, let the line out, okay? And you got to let the line out, and they'll sink or swim. Yep. Okay,
that's good advice.
If you don't, you're going to be doing it, and there's a limit. The limit to what one guy can do is run 3 to 5 people in the field. Beyond that, it gets out of control. The guy wants to kill himself.
Yeah, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, there's just not enough time in the day to do all the tasks that you have to do to keep those 5 guys going and manage all the back office and back stuff that has to be done.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the ceiling. Beyond that, you have to hire people. I believe you have to hire people before that, but that's the last resort. You're hitting the ceiling. You're not going any higher.
Right. So what's plans for the future with the current company? You know,
well, we're growing. We're probably, by the time I bail out of this thing, we should be like 3 times the size we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your ETA on that?
5 years or less. Okay, I got another 5 years in this thing. I'm going to be 74 tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Oh, sorry. No F-bombs here. Happy stupid birthday.
74, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, you look great for your age. I'm not going to make it that far, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, you will.
With me popping teeth out all left and right.
These aren't real teeth.
So
you thought they were real?
You know, I went to the dentist. I go, listen, before you even start, I was like, how about just pull them all out and give me fake teeth? Because I'm tired of this every other year.
I want implants. You know, just
get
make more implants.
Those are insanely expensive.
Oh, very.
I told him you got to go to Turkey. They give you a new mouth for $7,000.
Yeah, but you got to go to Turkey.
But you have to go to Turkey.
Yeah, you got to change. You got to wear different clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to look different. Well, you got the beard already, so you're okay.
Yeah, but you got to shave the mustache though. That's what they do to fit in.
Yeah, be careful over there.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
it's crazy over there on that side of the world. We have
You'll have the best teeth in the funeral home.
Yeah, seriously. Got him for $7,000.
Oh goodness! So yeah, I've got plans. I mean, you know, I'm looking to grow this thing, and my son-in-law and my daughter can take it over, and they can do whatever they want. It's going to be a situation where they'll have choices. They might be able to, depending on what they want to do, maybe 10, 15 years from now, they'll say, okay, look at. Let's just sell this thing off to a private equity company. Okay, we'll get $40 million. Here's 20 for you, 20 for me, and I'll be already dead and buried. And they'll have a good life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's generational wealth.
Yeah.
Okay. That's life changing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Okay. And it could be done. It could be done.
When are you gonna just pack it in and just relax?
You know what? I really enjoy what I do. When I go to work, I have fun. I'm not working. I'm having fun. Okay. It's cutting into my golf. This new gig. Okay. But in another year or so, it won't be. I'll be back to the every other day or 3 days a week playing golf, and I'm setting it up to run. It does run itself now, but even more so. Okay. I could look at numbers anywhere, on my phone, in a house down in Florida, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. God willing that I live that long. Okay. So I have and plus, what I really enjoy doing is giving back. That's why I do this advisory board down at Bergen Tech. That's why I do this president of the Pascack Valley Association.
Right.
What do I need that headache for?
Right.
But I'm setting up things, and then I'm talking to contractors all the time, trying to advise them as to what to do. It gives me a little bit of an insight also on some of the guys that maybe want to get out. I'll offer them something for their business. That's something that they might not have had if I wasn't there. Okay. Because some of these businesses, listen, you know what? They bought themselves a good job, and they had this good job for like 40 years or 30 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And now that it's a 1 or 2 man shop, what are you going to do?
Right.
There's very little value, okay, in that business, and some of them, like if they're one guy, like this guy next door, what's he doing? What's his exit strategy? Have a garage sale and move to Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's his exit strategy. All right. Move to Alabama, wherever the cheapest state is to live in. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, don't knock Alabama. Alabama's really
No,
nice.
I'm sure it's pretty cool. Hey, please.
Well, I got family in Alabama.
Okay.
I'm actually I
Don't
got
give him my email.
No, trust me, we bust their chops from here all the time.
No, I'm
Constantly.
not putting any place down. I'm just saying it's lower cost. This is
It
a
is,
very
yeah.
expensive place to live, Bergen County.
Oh,
I mean, it's
yeah.
one of the most expensive. Okay.
In the country, yeah.
And
I'll tell you, my exit strategy does not involve settling in Bergen County.
okay.
No effing way.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I would love to move to Tennessee.
Well, I got to tell you that during that 5 years in exile, okay, I was looking at a lot of businesses in South Carolina, Georgia, North
beautiful
Carolina.
down there.
I went down there. My son-in-law and I went down. We were combing through businesses, through financials and whatever, and through some twist of fate, where one of my daughters refused to leave Bergen County, which meant the other daughter wouldn't leave, which meant my wife wouldn't leave, which meant that the whole thing fell apart.
Yeah.
Okay. I was willing to buy a business down there and move everybody down there, my whole family,
Yeah.
both daughters, husbands, kids, everything. That's what the sale to gold medal would have provided me to do. I could do that with no problem. Okay. Move everybody. All right. But they didn't want to do it. So that's why I ended up buying this company up here.
Well, nowhere else in the world is home to people who have grown up. I mean, I have no problem admitting that. I've lived several different places. This is home.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to admit it, and as much as I rag on it, as much as you rag on it,
Sure.
North Jersey, it gets in your blood, and it doesn't let you go.
Yeah. And you know what's impossible to do is move any place where there's no ocean.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, can you
How do you be
imagine living in
landlocked?
Kansas? Where's the shore?
Yeah.
I know. My cousin my cousin visited Kansas, and he's from Eastern Ohio.
No disrespect, Kansas.
No, not at all. I don't even. Well, we may have used Kansas. He's from Eastern Ohio, rural Eastern Ohio. He goes down to Kansas. He goes, "What the heck is this?" He's like, "There wasn't a hill anywhere."
Oh yeah.
He's like,
Oh,
"Get
God.
a freaking hill."
They made a movie about it. Kansas, how flat and empty and barren.
What's the
called.
movie?
I think it's called Kansas.
The Wizard of Oz.
No, my
From the Wizard. I thought he was talking about.
my grandmother keeps talking about how I should watch that movie. She goes, "You will love that movie because it just shows you." Because I always tell her, "I want to move someplace else. I want to move someplace else."
Yeah, not Kansas.
and then she just goes,
Yeah, Kansas
"You will
is flat."
hate it someplace."
My cousin goes. He says, "There's this breed of spider that lives down there too." it's like,
Not for me.
yeah, it's these mass. He had to stay in his cousin's basement, and he said these big spiders, they just sit there on the wall and watch you all night long.
No,
So,
no, it's like Australia.
Mike, you got anything else to add before we sign off here? Any advice to guys coming up or young guys coming out of high school? Or?
Guys in their businesses.
Yeah, don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to admit that you don't know it all. Okay, it's very cool to know lots about plumbing, but that's not even half the business. That's the easy half, or the easy 40%. The other 60% is the business side, which is, I could say is just as important, or you could say is more important than the plumbing skills. I mean, you could be the greatest technician in the world, and you could go belly up and broke and hate your life.
Yep.
Okay? So don't be afraid to admit that you don't know everything. And there's so many avenues to find this information out now that do networking. Okay, whether you network with other businesses that are outside your industry or inside your industry, you will learn.
So why don't you, for the audience here, plug your business?
Okay.
Total Comfort Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, right?
Yeah, Total Comfort Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Where can they find you online?
Soon to be electric.
Oh, you're taking an electric too.
Yeah, I mean, electric.
It does go hand in hand, yeah.
The electrification of our industry. I know this is a whole other topic that we could spend another 45 minutes on, but I mean, natural gas and the hydrocarbons are going away. Okay, it's just a matter of time. I probably won't see it. Okay, but I'm seeing the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Okay, everything's heat pump this, heat pump that. So. I don't know. I forgot the question. What was the question?
You're plugging your business. You guys are taking on electrical.
How could I forget that? Plug my business. So yeah, we've been doing this a while, and I'm going to plug my business, but I'm also going to plug my my consulting side. If you need help, you contact the boys here at Quartz. They'll get you hooked up with me, and I'll help anybody out.
He will. I'm telling you, Mike. You said something, and when you're involved in the association and stuff, it's giving back.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys who have been in the industry as long as you have. A lot of guys may not come up to you and say it, but it definitely means a lot. And it gives dudes coming up who really don't have much experience somewhere to look, just like a base to say, you know what, I can call this guy, and I don't know.
Sure.
That's insanely important.
I wish I had guys that I could call when I was coming up. Okay, I paid for it. I got on an airplane and I flew somewhere and paid for it to go learn. Here it is. It's free.
Here it is, free, right in front of you.
Okay.
What's where can we get you online? Total Comfort.
Totalcomfort.biz.
Okay.
They ran out of .com, so now I'm .biz. B-I-Z. Okay.
What's the phone number?
201. 891-1333.
All right.
Okay.
And for consulting, we'll get you hooked up with Mike over here. Great guy to talk to. Mike, thanks so much for coming on.
This was a pleasure.
A lot of valuable information.
You guys
We're going to
good.
get some really good reels out of this episode. Folks, again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for following Plum Bums. Again, if you want to be on the show, you're going to go to quartzplumbing.com. You're going to click the podcast link. Follow the instructions down on Be a Guest and fill out that application. We'll get you on. Any small business owner, any cool industry, any entrepreneur will get you on. Have a great conversation. Again, this show is brought to you by Jigsaw PMR, jigsawpmr.com. Mold remediation, fire remediation, sewer, water. He does it all. High-tech stuff. He'll get in there and clean out your house perfectly. He'll deal with the insurance company. A1 service from Jigsaw. And guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please, if you're seeing an episode that you like or a reel that you like, please share it. Please like it, comment. It boosts our SEO, and that's what we're always looking for, to get Plum Bums up the search ladder, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You got anything to leave us with?
No, it was just very informative. I can listen to him talk all day.
Yeah. Guys,
Really
thanks
good.
for watching, and we will catch you here next week.